At Thanksgiving, my sister discovered I had $12 million and my family demanded I give it to her. This happened last Thanksgiving, but the fallout is still going, and I honestly need to get it off my chest. What should have been a relaxing family holiday turned into one of the most surreal and entitled experiences of my life. So, I, 36M, live a relatively low-key life. I work in tech, mostly remote consulting, and I've always been kind of a saver. No flashy car, no big house, and definitely no social media posts showing off anything. I've always preferred being a bit under the radar, even after something very big happened about a year ago. Long story short, an old friend of mine, kind of a mentor in my early 20s, passed away. He had no family, and shockingly, he left me everything. The man was ridiculously wealthy, like private investor who played the market right kind of wealthy. I was stunned. I thought it was a mistake. After all the estate stuff settled and taxes were handled, I walked away with just over $12 million. I didn't tell anyone. Not even my closest friends, and certainly not my family. Not because I don't trust them, but because I do know them. And unfortunately, I knew how they might react. Fast forward to last Thanksgiving. My older sister, Amy, 38F, hosted the usual dinner. She's the alpha sibling, super type A, loud, opinionated, always in some sort of drama. She's got 2 kids, a husband who recently lost his job, and they've been in financial trouble for a while now, though she keeps up appearances like everything's perfect. Dinner was going fine until Amy, after a couple glasses of wine, started doing her usual round of checking in on everyone's lives. She always masks it as caring, but it's really just nosy judgment. She gets to me. So, still doing your tech stuff? What's that like, 6 figures now, she says, laughing. I just say, yeah, it's going well. Same stuff, different day. Then my cousin, who I hadn't seen in a while, says something that makes my stomach drop. He goes, man, I heard you bought that mountain property near Tahoe. That place looked insane in the listing. Everyone turns and looks at me. Now, yeah. I did quietly buy a small cabin up near Lake Tahoe, as both an investment and a retreat. It was listed under an LLC, so I have no idea how he found out. Amy squints. Wait, you bought that place? That was like, a couple million, right? On your salary? I froze. I stammered something like, yeah, just, saved up and made some good investments. And then I saw her expression change. The way her eyes shifted. The way the wine glass paused midair. You know that look people get when a light bulb goes off and they suddenly see dollar signs? She put the glass down, leaned forward and said. How much money do you have, exactly? And that, is where the night started unraveling. So there I am, sitting at Amy's perfectly decorated Thanksgiving table, everyone staring at me like I just announced I was Elon Musk's long-lost cousin. And she asks again. How much money do you have, exactly? I try to laugh it off. I mean, I've done okay. I live cheap, made some smart moves with investing, that kind of thing. But Amy wasn't letting it go. No, don't give me that vague crap. You bought a $2 million cabin. You drive a 10-year-old car. That doesn't add up. So come on, what's the number? At this point, the whole table is quiet. Even the kids have stopped poking at their mac and cheese. My mom is looking at me like I've been keeping some dirty little secret. My dad, stoic as always, just leans back like he's watching a courtroom drama. I gave in. I don't know if it was the pressure, or the wine, or just the fact that I was tired of living like I had something to hide. So I said it. I have, about $12 million. Dead silence. Amy blinks like she misheard me. 12 what? Million, I said again, quieter this time. Then came the explosion. You have $12 million and you let me struggle to pay my mortgage, she snapped, standing up so fast her chair screeched backward. Wait, what? I said, totally caught off guard. Amy, it's not like that. She cuts me off. You let me sit here, clip coupons, cancel vacations, beg mom and dad for help with daycare, and you're sitting on millions? Are you serious right now? Then mom jumps in, clutching her pearls like it's a soap opera. Why would you hide something like that from your family? We're supposed to share. We're family. And then, of course, Dad finally speaks, well, if you've got that much, maybe you can help your sister out. She's been drowning this year. I looked around at everyone, absolutely stunned. It was like they had flipped a switch. 1 second I was just the quiet tech guy, the next I was a human ATM. I said, it's my money. I didn't take it from anyone. I didn't win the lottery, I inherited it from a friend. It doesn't mean I owe anyone anything. Amy wasn't having it. She slammed her glass down and said, you're damn right you owe me. I'm your sister. Blood comes first. Family helps family. You don't get to sit on that kind of money while I'm about to lose my house. Then, in a voice so smug I can still hear it echo in my head, she added. You will give me some of it. You owe me that much. And that's when things really started going off the rails. So now Amy is full on yelling, my mom's tearing up like I just told her I was moving to Mars, and my dad's suddenly looking at me like I'm the family disappointment, even though 2 minutes ago I was just quiet little Ben who works with computers. And then it gets even more surreal. Amy actually walks out of the dining room, calls her husband in, and goes, guess what? Ben's been sitting on $12 million. And didn't tell anyone. Her husband just blinks and goes, wait, seriously? Then looks at me and says, you know, we could really use help with the mortgage, man. Like even just $100,000 would save us. I kid you not, he said that with a straight face. At this point, my cousin, the same one who accidentally outed my cabin purchase, tries to lighten the mood and jokes, well, now you have to give us all Teslas, right? Cue zero laughter. Amy sits back down, now fully in CEO entitled mode. She crosses her arms and says, you've had your chance to be generous. I think you owe it to the family to share that money. We've all helped you in little ways over the years. Remember when I co-signed your student loans? I paid her back. With interest. 10 years ago. Remember when we all chipped in for your birthday trip to Vegas? That was for my 25th. I didn't even want to go. They planned it. Now everyone's piling on. My aunt says I should set up a little family trust. My mom suggests I pay off Amy's house and just consider it a gift. Even Sam, my younger brother, starts in with, come on man, you know how hard it's been for her lately. It was like a shark tank. The second they smelled money in the water, they all went into frenzy mode. I just sat there, stunned, feeling like I was watching a live reenactment of every r/choosing beggars post ever written. I said, as calmly as I could, this is exactly why I didn't tell anyone. I've helped you all in small ways over the years. But this is insane. I'm not a bank. I'm not a lottery ticket. I'm still me. Just because I have money doesn't mean I owe it to anyone. That's when Amy lost it. She actually said, verbatim. If you don't give me at least $1 million, I'm going to make sure everyone knows what kind of selfish bastard you are. And yeah, that was when I realized this wasn't just awkward anymore. It was war. After Amy dropped that threat, give me $1 million or I'll ruin your reputation, something in me just snapped. Not in an angry, shouty way. More like this cold wave of clarity. The kind you get when you realize there's no reasoning with people who don't actually see you as a person anymore, just a walking dollar sign. So I stood up. Calmly. Picked up my jacket. And I said, loud enough for the whole table to hear. I came here for Thanksgiving. To spend time with my family. Not to be blackmailed or guilt-tripped into handing over money that I never owed any of you in the first place. Amy rolled her eyes. Oh come on, don't be dramatic. I turned to her and said. You just told me you'd publicly smear me if I didn't hand over $1 million. That's not family. That's extortion. She opened her mouth to speak, but I didn't give her the chance. I looked at my parents. You raised me to be responsible. I've never asked you for a dime. I've always had your back. And now you're telling me that because I've done well, I'm suddenly obligated to fix everyone else's problems. That's not how this works. My mom tried the whole soft, guilt-laced, we're just worried about fairness, line. But I didn't let it land. I said. Fairness isn't demanding what you haven't earned. Fairness is being happy for someone else's success, even when you're struggling. I've helped quietly when I could. I've never flaunted anything. And this is how I'm treated. I paused. Looked at Amy, who was seething. I'm not giving you $1 million. Not because I'm greedy, but because you don't deserve it. Not after this. And then I walked out. I didn't slam the door. I didn't look back. I just got in my car and drove home, hands shaking on the wheel, heart pounding, not from anger, but from grief. Because I realized then that I didn't lose control of the situation. I lost my family. Update, a few months later. Since that night, things have been weird. Amy's gone full Facebook victim mode. She posted some cryptic nonsense about certain people in the family choosing greed over love and being betrayed by blood. Classy. My parents reached out once, basically to say I should apologize to keep the peace. I didn't. Sam actually texted me privately to say he got caught up in the moment and felt ashamed. He didn't defend me that night, but at least he acknowledged it. We're rebuilding trust slowly. As for me, I've been seeing a therapist to help deal with the emotional fallout. Money didn't change me. They did. I still have the $12 million. Still live in my condo. Still drive my old Civic. But now, I live with my eyes wide open. And I've started building a new version of family, one that doesn't see me as a wallet.